Hi everyone, I'm Cheyenne Malone. In 2023, the increasing use of advanced technology changed how businesses communicate with each other and their customers as well. But what can we expect in the customer experience as we continue into 2024? Joining us now to share his perspective on this topic is Joseph Michelli, speaker. He's a New York Times bestselling author and the CEO of the Michelli Experience. Welcome. Thanks so much for coming back on the show, Joseph.
It's great to be here, Cheyenne. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. Talk to us about, obviously we're into 2024, but we learn from the past, right? So in 2023, what are some of the consumer trends that you saw?
I've been doing consumer work now, I don't know, 30 years, way too many years. And 2023 was a year to put a seatbelt on and buckle up. And I think the roller coaster is going to really shoot out even more this year. But if you look at 2023, I think a lot of people knew generative AI was out there, but the amount of growth in generative AI and how that's affected the way brands engage customers through the ability to understand what customers prefer and be able then to help customers use self-service options through that AI technology, often chatbot. It really is probably the fastest growth of a single technology in the course of my career.
How do you think customers felt about that growth in 2023? Obviously, it's different than we've ever seen it before.
Yeah, I think consumers generally are wary. If we think back, 10 years ago, we were hearing about this artificial intelligence and what it would do to our lives against us, the growth of the robots and really a sense of discomfort. It's like many things, kind of that boiling your frog analogy, right? The temperature increases and you don't jump out quite as quickly. I think we're seeing enough benefits from AI that people are enjoying it with lots of skepticism and concerns about what it's going to mean for whether there will be any humans left and whether or not AI will trump emotional intelligence.
When you look into your crystal ball, what do you predict will be trending in when it comes to consumer experiences in 2024?
Yeah, I think we're going to see just hyper-personalization. Now I worked for Starbucks years ago, and we were trying to make sure that in your app, we would not send you a message for a highly caloric product if you were drinking mostly non-fat lattes, right? I mean, it was a targeted messaging strategy based on our understanding of your use case. I think you're going to see hyper-personalization in 2024 like we've never seen it before. Much more sophisticated use of customer preferences to leverage that. We're going to see a rise of voice and conversational interfaces. I'm afraid to even mention her name, Alexa, for fear she's going to wake up on me right now as I say it. But the more we use that to order, the more we're going to be not going to our screens and clicking on things. We're going to be able to do much of our commerce with voice activation, voice-enabled service throughout the customer journey. I think we're going to start to see augmented reality pick up a bit. It's been one of those things that's been promising to help our enhancement of online shopping. But, it really hasn't gotten as much traction in visualizing products in our own environments, but I think that's going to pick up. And then I'll just hit two more, if you don't mind. And one is just an increased emphasis on customer privacy. We played fast and loose with a lot of customer data, I think, early on in the world, and given all of the bad actors who understand the kinds of data that we're getting from customers in order to leverage these preference choices, that data security is going to become even more important. And then finally, we're just going to see so much self-service. We're going to be able to choose how to take care of pretty much everything on our own without ever having to have a human. And therein is going to be a challenge to make sure that there are still humans around when the technology doesn't work or when we want to opt into human interactions.
How quickly do you see customers jumping on board with this? Do you feel like there's a certain specific demo that might, respond to it quickly versus others?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think if you're a digital, you're a digital alien like me, we sometimes are a little slower, but generally speaking, the digital natives are, they're just quickly jumping onto the next option. The key here is, does it provide utility? If you think back to the first time you ever saw a kiosk to scan your own items in a supermarket, sure. It's like, why am I going to go do that? It's going to get it wrong. And now the question is that line moving faster? Mm-hmm. Do I trust it enough? So I think you're seeing willingness to engage probably ever since the pandemic, much more willingness for people to engage in the use of technology when they would have otherwise been a little more skeptical.
I can see that. Any final thoughts for us, Joseph?
I just think it's an exciting year, and consumers are going to be in charge. Ultimately, these technologies are for the service of us and the enhancement of our experience. And I would just simply say, if you're a small business owner, don't rely on technology alone, but be willing to really invest in the emerging technologies, test them out. Don't be an early adopter, be a fast follower, and it's going to be a great year for you.
All right, great advice. Joseph Michelli, speaker, author, and the CEO of the Michelli Experience. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks for letting me be here, Cheyenne.
Yes. And thank all of you for watching.